Hey everyone, it's Aaron from ABR Creations. In this tutorial, I'm gonna be showing you how to crochet Terra, a robot mascot from Expo 2020. Like I said in my Opti Crochet series, Expo 2020 was a huge event which was held in Dubai, where I'm currently living in right now. I got inspired to crochet Terra from the Terra soft toy, and it took me about 2.5 days to crochet Terra. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel and also like this video at the end of this tutorial. It really helps me a lot. And also let me know what other crochet patterns to crochet and release. I've included time codes in the description so that you can jump to different parts of this tutorial. I've included subtitles in this tutorial if my voice isn't clear or if I'm not showing the pattern properly. You can check them out right now. Well, without further delay, let's talk about the materials that you will need. For this pattern, you are going to be needing the following materials. I'm using Ali's cotton gold yarn for this project, but you can use any type of yarn. Because I'm using this yarn, I'm going to be using a size 4mm crochet hook, and I will be using double threads of the same color. That means 2 threads at a time to make it just a bit bigger. I'm using the colors green for the body, dark green for the top of Terra, the bottom of Terra, the hands and the side antenna, black for the face, yellow for the eyes and mouth and the small circle, and white of course for the side antenna and some details on the hands. I'm using some stuffing to stuff my piece up. I'm using a yarn needle to sew the ends together. I'm using some stitch markers to keep track of where I start my round and where I end my round. This is totally optional. You can use some of yarn ends also. And of course, I'm going to be using a pair of scissors. Alright, without further delay. Okay, let's start making the hands. Okay, like I said, we are going to be making the hands of Terra. And they're almost shaped like socks. Almost, I said. So we're going to start off with a magic ring in white. Like I said before, I'm using double thread to make it just a bit bigger. Just. Okay. Just pull it to make it smaller. Okay. So for round 1, we're gonna single crochet 6 times into the magic ring. Insert your hook into the magic ring, yarn over and pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. That is a single crochet. We need to do 6 of those. So that's 1, 2, then 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, then we can close our ring tight. Don't pull it too tight, otherwise it might break the yarn, and you have to repeat this process all over. I'm using stitch markers to mark the end of my round. Okay, count back 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Insert your hook into this first stitch that you made. Okay, for round 2, we're gonna do this repeat. Single crochet 1 in our first stitch. We'll work around our tail end to lock it into place. Single crochet 1. And then in our next stitch, we're gonna do 1 increase. Increase means putting 2 stitches into the same stitch. just gonna put 2 single crochets into the same stitch. That is the increase. Okay, then we can just close our tail tight enough. There you go, it just got closed. When we want to repeat this process 3 times total. So that is our first repeat. Let's do our second repeat. Single crochet 1 and increase in our next stitch. One more time. Single crochet 1 and our final stitch will do 1 increase. Okay, and that is going to be the end of round 2. You should have 9 stitches by the end of this round. Okay, so for rounds 3 and 4, that's 2 rounds total. Rounds 3 and 4, 2 rounds. We're just gonna do it nice and easy, single crochet into each stitch. Okay, let me show you this first round. Just single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Now this is a perfect opportunity for you to count that if you have 9 stitches. That is 1, 2, then 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, to redo that stitch again. 7, 8, final stitch, and 9. Okay, so just do one more round of this single crocheting. That's the end of round 3. So for round 4, again, you're just gonna do single crochets all around. Just do one more round of single crocheting, and I will be back to show you what to do next at the end of this round. Okay, so I'm approaching the end of round 4 here, and before I finish my last stitch, 1 second. We're gonna take our dark green. So before I finished my last stitch, I want to insert my hook into this next stitch, or I mean into the last stitch. Then take our dark green color right over here. Sorry. Take our dark green. Just go under it. 1 second. Like this. Yarn over and pull through. Just make a normal single crochet in white. What this will do is it will lock our dark green yarn in place. It will lock our dark green yarn in place. And we can just cut our white tail end. Our white tail end. Be careful not to cut any other end. Okay. That is going to be the end of round 4. Now in this next round we are going to change colors to green. So we will slip stitch, again working around the green. We will slip stitch 1 in white, and then just let go of our white yarn. Just take hold of our dark green. And with that, just make a chain 1. Just chain 1 right there. This is gonna change colors to our green yarn, and it's gonna be neat. 1 second. Cut our green tail end as well. We can cut our green tail end as well. Won't need. It can get a bit annoying for you. That's all. Okay. But don't cut the white yarn because we will need it in our next round. we're gonna be needing it in round 6. So just work around our white yarn. Oh, sorry, for round 5 we're gonna just single crochet into each and every stitch. Nice and easy all the way around, but we have to make sure we are working around our white yarn, not only to keep it in place, but because we're gonna be needing it in our next in round 6. Okay, just single crochet into each and every stitch. Okay, here's our last stitch. I'm approaching the end of this round, and 9. Okay, so for round 6, wait, we're gonna change to white now in this next round. So slip stitch 1 in green, slip stitch 1 in dark green. Like I said, let go of the dark green and pick up our white and make a chain 1. Okay. For round 6, we're gonna single crochet 3. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Then we're gonna slip stitch 1 loosely. We're gonna just slip stitch 1 loosely. Don't pull it like too tight. Don't pull the loop up too tight. Don't make a scoop. Okay. For round 6.1, we're gonna turn our piece and chain 1. I will be calling this as start in the subtitles. You may know it'll take up too much space. Okay. For round 6.1, we're gonna single crochet 4. So insert your hook into the slip stitch 1 that you made, even into the slip stitch 1. That's why it was best to make it a bit loose so that it was easy to insert into. So 1, 2, 3, last stitch, 4. Okay, then we can just chain 1. We can cut our white yarn now. Cut our white yarn and pull it all the way through. Okay, for round 6.2, we're gonna go into the white stitch, this last stitch right over here. Go into the white stitch where you just made the slip stitch. Pick up your green yarn and pull it through to make a loop. You don't need to chain 1 or anything. Just pick it up, sorry. And then we can just continue to single crochet 5 around. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, so by the end of round 6, the whole of round 6, 6.1, 6.2, everything, by the end of round 6, you should have 9 stitches, 4 in white and 5 in green, in dark green. Okay, so for round 7, we're gonna single crochet 4 on top of the white stitch. So we just go on top of the white stitch, can work around our white stitch just to keep it secured. Just go on top of the white stitch and just no need of slip stitch 1 or anything, just make 1 single crochet. Just 1, then 2, 3, 4. Okay, For round 7.1, we're gonna turn our piece and chain one. Sorry. Turn our piece and chain one. Then we're just gonna single crochet 4 across. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and last stitch, and 4. Okay, then we can just cut this white tail end right over here. Just cut it nice and close. Okay, that's round 7.1 done. For round 8, we're just gonna single crochet all around without turning. Now I know this may sound weird, but don't worry, everything will be proper in the next round. So we can just, oh sorry, I forgot to mention, we can just slip stitch 1 and chain 1. I will be calling this as end in the subtitles, as you know it might take up too much space. Okay, then we're just gonna single crochet into each and every stitch. Perfect opportunity to count our stitches. Oops, sorry. That was our first stitch. Number 2, then 3, 4, then into this stitch, 5, then work on top of the stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, here. 6, 7, 8, and final stitch 9. All right. For round 9, we're gonna slip stitch 1 into our first stitch. Right here, slip stitch 1 into our first stitch that you made. Chain 1 and turn. There you go, we made it straight. We made it proper now. And then we're just gonna slip single crochet into each and every stitch all the way around, having a total stitch count of 9 stitches at the end. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and to this stitch. Yeah, before we complete our stitch, I forgot, we're gonna change to white in our next round, in this round I mean. So go under this, go under our last stitch into our next stitch, last stitch, pick up our white, then yarn over with our dark green and just make a normal single crochet. As you know, it will lock our yarn in place. Okay, then we're gonna change to white. So we're gonna slip stitch 1 in dark green, let go of the dark green, pick up our white yarn and chain 1. Alright. So for rounds 10 to 11, that's 2 rounds total. We're just gonna do it nice and easy. We're just gonna single crochet into each stitch all the way around. Just work around our dark green yarn. We won't need it anymore, so we can just cut our dark green yarn and cut our white tail end. Here we go. Cut our white tail end, 1, and then just single crochet. That is our first stitch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so just continue single crocheting for one more round. By the end of both the rounds, you should have 9 stitches. So just continue single crocheting for just one more round, and I will be back to show you what we'll do next. Okay, so I'm approaching the end of round 11. Make sure you have 9 stitches at the end of this round. For round 12, we're gonna single crochet 6 times. We're gonna single crochet 6 around. 1. Don't need to slip stitch 1 or chain 1 or anything. 1. So then there's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we're gonna slip stitch into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, you should have 6 single crochets plus 3 slip stitches. Then that's it for the hands. So we can just cut our yarn. Make sure to leave enough to sew it onto the body of Terra. And we can chain 1 and pull it all the way through. Sew this onto the body once the body is completed. Alright, so we have finished making the hands of Terra. Now I want you to go ahead and rewind this video if you can. Rewind this video and make one more of the hands of Terra. And I'll be back and I will show you how to make, let's make the side antenna. Let's make the side antenna of Terra. Okay, like I said, next off we're going to be making the side antenna. The side antenna of Terra. And this side antenna is gonna have multiple pieces. So there are going to be 3 pieces attached. The big circle, the white antenna, and the small circle, which you know will be called as the side antenna of Terra. So first, let's make the big circle. Let's start off by making the big circle. Make sure you have a dark green yarn. Make sure it's a dark green yarn. We're gonna make a magic loop in our dark green, and it's gonna be worked in the round without ever turning around. Alright, so for round 1, we're gonna single crochet 6 times into the magic loop. 1, then 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. Close the magic ring tight. not too tight, otherwise it might break your yarn end. Alright. Yeah. So for round 2, we're gonna increase into each and every stitch 6 times total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Insert your hook into the first stitch that you made. Work around our tail end just for this one stitch. Lock it into place. So then we'll make one increase. Like I said, increase means putting 2 single crochets into one stitch. Same stitch, make a single crochet. And then just pull the tail end tight. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're just gonna increase into each stitch around. So let's 3, then 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, same stitch, 10, and then our final 2 stitches, 11, same stitch, 12. Alright, by the end of round 2, you should have 12 stitches by the end of this round. For round 3, we're gonna single crochet 1 into our first stitch right over here. Just single crochet 1, and we're gonna increase into our next stitch. That's our repeat, and we're gonna repeat this process. We're gonna repeat this process 6 times total. So that's our first repeat. Let's do our second repeat. Single crochet 1, and then increase into the next. Single crochet 1 and increase into the next. Single crochet 1 and then increase into the next. Single crochet 1 and increase into the next. One more time, our last repeat. Single crochet 1 and then increase in our next stitch. By the end of round 3, you should have 18 stitches by the end of this round. Okay, so for rounds 4 and 5, that's 2 rounds total. We're just gonna single crochet into each and every stitch all the way around. So we're just gonna single crochet into each and every stitch around for just 2 rounds total, rounds 4 and 5. And this, again, like I said, is a perfect opportunity to count your stitches. Instead of just finishing your piece first and then counting your stitches, blah, 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 blah. Instead of just counting you can just count your stitches while just doing the single crochets, because there's no increases now. Okay. Almost done. So just continue working, just do one more round of single crocheting, making sure that you have 18 stitches by the end of this round. Now I'll be back to show you what to do next. Okay, so I'm approaching the end of this, or round 5. And we're done. By the end of this round 5, you should have 18 stitches. And we can just slip stitch 1 just slip stitch 1, chain 1, cut our yarn, leaving a nice long end to sew it onto the body, and then we'll just pull it all the way through. We can sew this onto the body once we finish completing our body. Okay, we want to make 2 of these in total, but I'll explain furthermore in detail once we attach all our pieces, this white antenna, the small circle together. Okay, next off we're going to be making the white antenna. We're going to be making the white antenna. So this is going to be all in white. We're going to make a slip knot instead of a magic ring. We're gonna make the slip knot now. Oh, sorry. There you go. And we're gonna chain 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Alright. So for row 1, we're gonna skip this first our first chain that we made. Insert your hook into the second chain from your hook. We'll make 1 single crochet. We don't need a stitch marker and all for this, but it's totally fine. Once you finish your single crochet, we're gonna do 1/2 double crochet into the next stitch. Then we're going to do a double crochet into this next stitch. Yarn over, insert your hook into the chain, yarn over and pull 2, yarn over and pull through 2, then yarn over and pull through the remaining 2 loops. Then we're going to do something that is called the half triple crochet. For the half triple crochet, we're going to yarn over twice, go into this next chain, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull it through 2, then yarn over and pull it through the remaining 3 loops. That is known as the half triple crochet. We want to make 4 half triple crochets in total. So that is our first one. Let's do our second one. Yarn over twice, insert your hook into the next chain, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull it through 2 loops, then yarn over and pull it through the remaining 3 loops. 2 more. Yarn over twice, insert your hook into the next chain, yarn over and pull through, then yarn over and pull through 2, then finally yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. 1 more. Yarn over twice, next chain, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, and finally yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Then in our next chain, we're going to do 1 double crochet. Just yarn over once, insert your hook into the next chain, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Then in our next stitch, we're going to do a half double crochet, pull through 3 instead of 2, yarn, and then we're going to single crochet into our remaining 2 chains. Just make 1 single crochet in the next 2 chains. 1 and 2. Okay, just to repeat what I just said, 1 single crochet, skip our first chain, 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 1 double crochet, 4 half triple crochets, 1 double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 2 single crochets. Okay, we can move on to the next part. Next, we're going to do 1 mini picot. That is chain 2, 1, 2, and into the back loop here. Let me just show you what I mean. You don't want to insert into the normal stitch that you just made. Turn your chains and into the back loop, like the spine of our second chain. Right here, we want to insert into that spine of that second chain. yarn over and just make a slip stitch. Yeah, yarn over and just make a slip stitch. That is known as the mini peacoat. Okay, then we're gonna slip stitch into the same stitch where you just made your second, where you finished that second single crochet. Just make one slip stitch. Alright, that is gonna be the end of row 1. We're not gonna turn, we're just gonna turn our piece 180 degrees like this. You don't want to turn like this, just not like this, turn it like this. It's gonna turn automatically. Now we're gonna work into the base chains of our chains. Yeah, we're gonna work into the base chains. So first off, you're gonna single crochet 1, not into this base chain, but into this base chain. We're just gonna single crochet 1. You can work around our tail end for this. Yeah, but it's okay. Single crochet 1, then half double crochet 1, then a double crochet 1, then 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 4 half triple crochets, 1. That's our first half triple crochet. Second one, 2, then 3, 1 more half triple crochet, and then 4. Okay, then we're gonna do 1 double crochet, just yarn over once, yarn over once this time. Then we're gonna do 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and finally in our last base chain right over here, we'll do 1 single crochet. There you go. Okay, then we can just slip stitch 1 into the first stitch that you made in row 1. Just make 1 slip stitch. Then we can cut our yarn, just leave enough to sew it onto the big circle. Yeah, I think that's enough. Cut our yarn, and then chain 1 and pull it all the way through. We're gonna sew this white antennae onto the big circle right over here. We're gonna make 2 of these white antennas. I'll explain later more further once we sew every part on. Now we're gonna move on to the small green circle. Okay, so our final piece to make is the small circle. The final piece, like I mean, the final piece of the side antennae. So we'll make a magic ring in dark green yarn, nice and short. Okay, so for round 1, there's only 1 round, so just call it round 1. We're just gonna single crochet 4 times into the magic ring. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we can just close the ring tight, not too tight, otherwise it might break your yarn. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're just gonna slip stitch 1 into our first stitch, work around our tail end, just slip stitch 1. Can get a bit difficult. Yeah, there you go. Just stretch it out evenly. Okay, let's slip stitch 1 and then we'll chain 1. This is only 1 round, so we can just cut our yarn, and that's it. That's really it. That's all for this small circle. Just chain 1 and pull it all the way through. Then we're just gonna sew this onto the white antennae. We want to make 2 of these. Now we can finally sew all our parts together, like all our white antennae for the side antennae parts together. Okay, now we can gather all our parts together to sew on the side antenna. First, let's sew on the small circle onto the white antenna. We can just cut our first tail end, not the one that we just cut. We want to cut the one where we used it to make the magic ring. Don't cut the wrong tail ends, please. Thank you. Okay, then we can thread it onto our yarn needle. Okay. Thread it onto our yarn needle. Yeah, okay. And I'm using reference from my Terra over here. I'm using reference right over here. Just position it right there. Okay. And we just wanna just sew it like this. It looks equal. Make sure it looks equal. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. So we can just insert your needle into into one of the white stitches and come out through the next, like this. Please bear with me because if I'm not explaining, I'm so sorry. I'm not explaining properly, I'm so sorry. Then insert your needle into the back loop of your first stitch. Insert your needle into the same stitch where you just pull it through, and then go into the next stitch right over here. Pull it through. Then just repeat this all the way around. Like this. Back loop, insert into the same stitch, and go out through the next stitch right over here. Insert into the back loop, back loop, same stitch, and then insert into the back loop. Then for a final stitch. For our final stitch, we can just go in. Oh wait, there's one more stitch. The slip stitch. Come out to the next, like this. Just be careful not to entangle it with any of the other threads. Otherwise, it would be a huge mess up. Insert slip stitch right here and go into, instead of coming out to the next stitch, just go in like so. Just go in. You want to break this needle as well. It's already breaking. Okay, then we can just, there you go, we've sewn this on. And then we can just cut it short. Now because I'm using double thread, I can just easily double knot this. I can easily double knot these two ends together. But if you're not, don't worry, you can just leave it like that. Okay, so we've sewn on this this small circle onto the white antennae. And finally, we can just sew on the white antennae onto our big circle right over here. So again, I'm taking reference. Yeah. Yep. Okay. No, I forgot to thread it on my needle. Wait, first thread our smaller tail end onto the needle. If you want, you can thread it or you can either cut it, but it's totally up to you. Oh, where was that position of that? Oh no, I forgot it. Just kidding, I never forget it. right over here. Then go, where is the stitch coming out? Right here, just like over here. Now we don't want to sew the whole thing. We don't want to sew all stitches and all stitches. We just want to sew it up till just like here. The thread or longer tail end onto the needle, or yarn needle. Like so. Then insert your needle into one of the stitches, or where this, let me turn it here, right here. Come out through the next. Don't insert it into any stitch, which is where this is facing. Just insert it into that. Into our next stitch. It's the same process of what we did for the small circle. Just insert into the back loops. Go out to the next one, blah blah blah. Back loop, insert into the same stitch and come out through the next, right over here. Do this back loop. Okay, now what we're gonna do is, instead of just going through the stitches, we can just go into the back loops, sorry, into the back of our white antenna. Just go into any stitch but the one closest to this stitch, right away. And then go out and then just do it as normal. You don't need to stuff up this white antenna, just sew it flat. There you go. And then we can just sew it on like this again. We can just go into the stitches and then just sew it on. Wait. This here. Okay. And then we can just insert into the back loop, next stitch. Almost done. And then just once you're at your last stitch, just go through the circle like this. It's a nice design on the back. Then we can just take our two tail ends. We can just, don't cut your green tail end, because we are going to be needing that to sew it onto our body. We can just cut the inside tail end of Terra. We're gonna cut the inside tail end of our small circle or big circle. Why do I say that? Yeah, it will make it a bit easier. Just cut these short like this and like this. And then we can double knot it. It's a lot easier once it's a bit, it's a lot easier if it's short. Otherwise, if it's long, it can cause some curly mess ups. Okay, that's one. Two. All right. Then we can cut it close. All right, there you go. We have made the side antenna. We have finished like crocheting the side antenna. Now I want you to make one more. I want you to make one more of this whole thing, this whole 3 parts, the small circle, white antenna, and this big circle. I want you to make one more of each, and then just rewind the video and then just sew it on like how I taught you, and then we can start working on let's see, we finished this, and now we can start working on the face, the eyes, and the mouth. So remember, make one more of this, make one more of each parts.